Am I the butthole for stealing my daughter from my mother? I, female, 28, gave birth to my daughter Alyssa when I was 17. My mom and I have always had a difficult relationship, and not long after I gave birth, she kicked me out and I went to live with my aunt while she raised Alyssa. I went to college in another state after, and though I've seen Alyssa some since then, my relationship with my mom prevented me from being there for her. Since I graduated, I've managed to start a pretty successful business, and my fiancé and I are currently in the process of purchasing our first home. I'm ready to be a mom now, and I really want to support my daughter. I had originally contacted my mother and told her that I was ready for Alyssa to come live with me, but she said no. Because of this, I've decided to file for full custody of her. I'm fairly well established financially, and my mother has had some trouble managing her money since Alyssa was born, so my lawyer is pretty confident that I'll get at least primary custody. When I told my mother about it, she was extremely upset and told me I was a complete butthole for trying to take away her kid, and that I had never wanted to be around Alyssa before. This is just not true. I visited over the years and tried to send my mother support, but she's never wanted me there. I told her that this wouldn't be happening if she hadn't tried to keep Alyssa away from me all these years. I've talked to my aunt and my older sister about this, and they both think that I should let my mother keep Alyssa. I truly think she'll be better off with me. Am I the butthole? You're the butthole. This is an 11-year-old kid who's grown up without you and was raised by her parent, your mother. Coming to visit now and again over the years doesn't make you a parent. Your mom is the one who's done all the hard stuff over the years to take care of her, and now you want to rip her child away from her. Giving birth doesn't make someone a mother. It's the long-term commitment of taking care of and raising a child that does that. Your mom is this kid's mother and you're just some lady. If you're concerned about your mom's finances and how that will affect her kid, send her some child support or something and help get her child what she needs while taking steps to introduce yourself more into her life as a friend. Don't try to rip her away from her parent just because you may be legally able to, though. My mother has had some trouble managing her money since Alyssa was born. Wow, could that be related to mom being a single parent? I'd contribute to a GoFundMe for mom's lawyer. Such a raging butthole intent on stealing a child from the only parent she's ever known. No joke, I really felt like puking when I read that line. Instead of supporting her after 11 years of taking care, raising and parenting the child original poster birthed, she wants to use her mom's financial instability to take her daughter away? What? That's so sick. But she is ready to be a parent now. This is the sentence that made me go bananas. How in hell is she ready to be a mother when the kid is 11 years old and has a mother? Original poster, your mom maybe was a butthole when she made it hard for you to see your daughter, but you had 11 years to take her before now. You didn't, you're the butthole. Edit, typo. Not a single mention in her entire post about what Alyssa wants or how she feels about the whole situation. Is original poster planning on just showing up after their house once she's granted custody and being like, alright, pack your bags, you're moving away from your school, friends, community, and de facto mother to go live with me and some random man? I'm sure that'll go swimmingly for her, and they'll be doing mommy-daughter spa days in no time. Agreed. I was wondering what Alyssa wanted. That's all that really matters. My bet is that original poster has no idea what Alyssa wants. Nor cares. She fantasizes that Alyssa wants to be with her, but reality will not stand in her way if that's not the case. She'd actually have to talk to Alyssa to find out what she wants though. Maybe she was, or maybe she recognized selfish immature behavior that didn't help a baby growing up to be around and acted in the best interest of her grandchild. I am sure mother's side of the story would be interesting to hear. Original poster, you're the butthole. Because of my single mother job, I had to live with my grandparents, but my mom was always present. I talked to her daily, she paid for everything I needed, and she visited me every time she could. At 8, my mom's job was in a better city and I had to live with her. It was a process. My grandma lived with us for a while, and we had to go to therapy. Original poster thinks she can have a healthy relationship with her daughter after 11 years of absence plus hurt her mother in the eyes of her daughter. Original poster is you're the butthole. Oh, original poster will probably forget about her firstborn once they start having children. No wait. Original poster wants firstborn to babysit for her future children. For real. My mother has had some trouble managing her money since I dumped my kid off on her, and now that I've decided I want my toy kid back, I'm going to use that to my advantage. What a total It's going to be an interesting legal discussion for the lawyers and judge to have, though. She abandoned her daughter 11 years ago and provided limited to zero support. She also did not have regular visitations, disappearing for years at a time. That said, there was never formal adoption paperwork filed. My money is on the judge awarding the grandmother temporary custody, with visitation rights, based on the fact that the 11-year-old kid is going to definitely submit a statement to the court that she wants to stay with grandma, or whatever she calls the mother that raised her. They may decide to reevaluate in a year to see if everyone has grown up and changed their minds any, but courts tend to rule in the best interest of the child, and in this case, the child seems better off with the only mother she's ever known. Honestly, I'm a little surprised that Op's lawyer is so confident that she'll get her daughter back. We're not talking about a 2 to 3-year-old baby. This is a full-on kid with friends, school, extracurricular activities, all of which would immediately end if she's forced to move to another state. Original poster said she lives in another state in a different comment. Original poster is definitely you're the butthole in this situation. Re-establish yourself in the life of the child that you abandoned. Help her financially when you can, and let the only mother that she's ever known finish raising her. I personally hope that the judge doesn't rule in her favor, because that's going to mess that kid up, and probably drive her to rebelling, continuing the cycle, and having her own child at 17, if not worse. So, I actually find it a bit odd that her lawyer is so confident. In my experience, telling a client that they have a great chance of winning is not a good idea. You don't know the other person's version of events, what documentation they have, which judge you're going to get, etc. There are so many factors, especially in child custody. Making any sort of guess, even when it seems obvious, is setting your client up for failure. She may have misunderstood her lawyer, honestly. I'm a lawyer, and we can be as careful as we can be walking the clients through an honest assessment of their case, but will be misunderstood anyway because it's a lot easier for people to see in black and white. I honestly expect the lawyer may have said something like, "Here's our strongest argument to win this," which doesn't mean I'm confident we can win this. You're the butthole. Not once did you mention what Alyssa wanted or preferred. Also, feel like we aren't getting the full story because why is your mom trying to keep you away? Why did she kick you out? There's so much missing here. No matter what, you need to ask Alyssa what she wants. That's all that matters here. You don't get to just decide you're ready to be a parent and have a person whose life you haven't been in for over a decade all of a sudden be your child. Hell, she didn't even mention if Alyssa knew that she was her birth mother. You're the butthole for this. I'm ready to be a mom now. That's now how it works. You know why you are fairly well established financially and your mom has had trouble managing her money since Alyssa was born? Because she has been raising your child. Don't rip this child away from her grandmother. If by some miracle the court grants you custody, you need to set up a schedule where she slowly transitions to your home. Yeah, I'm guessing that original poster didn't bother to financially support her child even though she's doing very well financially. Yes, that line "I'm ready to be a mom now" got me. You're the butthole. Stop thinking about what you want and start thinking about what's best for the kid. All of a sudden you're ready to be a parent? You were a parent as soon as you gave birth, but you decided to abdicate your responsibility and had your mom take over. Your mom raised Alyssa for 11 years, which makes her Alyssa's mom, not you. And it's pretty crappy of you to use your mom's finances against her. Of course, she doesn't have much money, she's spending it all raising the kid you gave birth to. There's a right way and a wrong way to reintroduce yourself into Alyssa's life. And you're doing it the wrong way. Info: what does Alyssa want? This should be the most important factor. Original poster said in the comments that she only visited 11-year-old Alyssa about once a year and has been pretty much no contact for the last 3 years. I'm guessing, since Alyssa doesn't even really know her, she'll want to continue living in her home with her grandmom. Everyone sucks here except for Alyssa. Your daughter is 11 years old. 11 years old. She has never lived with you, doesn't know you very well, and doesn't know your fiancé at all. Are you really thinking about what is best for her? You may feel that your actions over the past 11 years were justified, but from where Alyssa is standing, you barely visited her, didn't pay child support, and now you want to take her from the only home and caregiver she has ever known. Why did you never even seek visitation rights before? You're going just straight from nothing to sole custody without even thinking about the trauma to Alyssa. You need to make sure Alyssa actually wants to live with you and ease into it. Your mom sucks because it sounds like she's been actively keeping you from Alyssa. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt that it was not justified. Exclamation mark. If you want the real story, read this. You know very well why you lost your daughter. Do I need to remind you when your mother found you baked in the car with your daughter crying in a filthy diaper? Or when you start dating that child predator? And you saw no issue with bringing that man around your daughter? Or the countless times you forgot to pick her up from school because you were so baked out of your mind? You forgot to mention that in your story. And you never ever offered her any money. You only came around when you needed money from her. And that one time she refused to give you money, you broke into the house and stole her mother's watch to pawn for your sugar candy. You broke into her house so many times that she had her locks changed. And did you mention the fact how you threatened her constantly when you didn't get your money for your sugar candy? But your mom, being the saint that she is, never ever went to the police. Even when she had proof. But what hit the nail on the head was when your daughter came to your mother and said that your boyfriend, who is not the child's father, was coming into her room at night and standing over her bed. Just standing for hours. You've conveniently forgot to mention that. She has saved all the proof throughout the years. The fact that you were trying to make yourself the victim is disgusting. She will see you in court, and trust me, with all the proof she has, you will not get custody. Shame on you. So who are you? I saw in a comment you were no contact for 3 years until right now. You only do occasional visits for 8 years and then walk completely out of her life for 3, and you seriously think you deserve to be called mom? If you got kicked out, why didn't you take Alyssa with you? Unless your mom filed for custody, you could have called the police yourself to get her back, but you didn't. You abandoned her for 11 years. You didn't fight for her, you let your mom have her. Now you suddenly want to play mommy, but you aren't her mother. Her grandmother, you know, the woman who raised her, is her mother. You are just a person who gave birth. Alyssa isn't being coached to not call you mom, you never her mom to start with. Alyssa wants to stay her mom. The courts will take everything from the last 11 years into account, including the no contact, your lack of interest before today, and, most importantly, Alyssa's wishes. I'd be shocked if you succeeded, but if you did, Alyssa can just leave the second she turns 18, and you will not be able to stop her going back to her actual mom. You made your choice not fighting for her 11 years ago. Respect Alyssa's choice today. You're the butthole. You're the butthole. This is all about you. You aren't ready to be a mom at all. You're the butthole. The only family this child knows well is your mother. Regardless of the why, you haven't spent significant time with her. Now that you're comfortable, and she is an established 11-year-old, you suddenly want to swoop in and take her to have a perfect family? That's not how life works. You need to start finding ways to be a part of her life without ripping her away from everything she knows. Build trust, friendship, and a relationship, and then talk about what she wants once she knows you. Would she be changing schools to come live with you? How would it impact the friendship she has built? What about hobbies and sports? There is so much to consider before you uproot this child. She is her own person, not something either of you should be looking at as yours. You need a social worker involved to figure out who can actually look after all her needs and what will be best for her. If you take her away from the mother she knows through court proceedings, she may very well hate and resent you for it. You're the butthole. Just because you had a rough start is no reason to do the same to an innocent child. You're the butthole. This isn't about you. This is about what's best for Alyssa, something that you barely even mention aside from a brief reference to money. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to be the first to know about Red Rabbit Reader's new videos. If you like our videos, please like them on YouTube and share them with your friends. We welcome your comments below. Press to start another of our videos.